Hello everyone, I would like you to think about the last meal you consume. The probability of that meal containing genetically engineered foods is very high. Up to 95% of the corn produced in the USA today has genetically engineered components. Now, also, up to 45% of all the genetically engineered foods in the US today alone are genetically engineered. Now, the purpose of my speech today is to leave you a more informed consumer. I've done a great amount of research on genetically engineered foods, but my personal research aside, the scientists that I will cite today have great experience in genetically engineered foods and even have made that their major area of study. My motivation is to bring awareness to the foods that you and your family consume on a daily basis. I will briefly talk about the history, some of the current issues with genetically modified organisms, as well as the potential future of genetically modified organisms. Now, genetically engineered foods, by proper definitions, are food products that are obtained from genetically modified organisms, both plants as well as animals. In this process, the said organisms are subjected to modification by making specific changes to their DNA by means of genetic engineering. This involves either insertion or deletion of the genes. Basically, this means that genetics of the food is modified, so to speak, to create a desired result. Now, Gregor Mendel is known as the father of genetics. He's pioneered modern genetics. He attended the University of Vienna as well. That's the same university that Sigmund Freud attended. He was a monk who did his experiments in his monastery garden. He established a law of segregation. The law of segregation states that there are dominant and recessive traits passed on randomly from parents to the offspring. Mendel's observations were the basis of the first genetically modified plant, as an antibiotic-resistant tobacco produced in 1983. Controversy surrounds genetically engineered foods. Now, one of the great controversies today are whether to label or not to label genetically engineered foods. Supporters of genetically engineered foods state that they are more nutritious than traditionally grown plants, they are disease and drought resistant, and they grow faster and have a longer shelf life. This drives down prices and provides the population with more abundant amount of nutritious foods. Genetically engineered foods also need less water and can survive in climates with excessively high heat. So this is a solution for the parts of the world with extreme climates. The visual representation that I'll have today, this is a representation of a organically grown strawberry, and this is a representation of a genetically engineered strawberry. The difference is clear. The genetic engineered strawberry is quite larger, and it will stay fresh up to 1 to 2 weeks longer than the organic strawberry. Now, the opposition regarding genetically engineered foods, opposers say that genetically engineered foods have some unexpected genetic results that are damaging to the environment and its inhabitants. Genetically engineered foods may interbreed with natural organisms and outcompete them, leading to an extinction of the original organisms or to other unpredictable environmental effects. Many religious communities are against genetically engineered foods because of the morality of the issue. They see humans as playing God and a natural way of producing foods by genetically modifying them. Many people are also not comfortable with the idea of transferring animal genes into plant genes. Now, recent events pertaining to genetically engineered foods force us to take a look at the issue. This past Saturday, Connecticut Senate approved a compromise bill that would require special labels on food that contains genetically modified ingredients. The vote was unanimous. Now, in conclusion, no matter where you stand personally on the issue of genetically modified organisms, it is obvious that it is a hot-button topic today. Whether or not to label will continue to flame across the state's legislation. There are pros and cons on both sides, but the most important point in the conflict over genetically engineered foods is to be an informed consumer and know what you and your family are consuming. Thank you.
Can I lay down now?
My name is Dylan Williams, and thank you.